Today on Tanaka Homestead, I want to talk to you about Jungle Growth Organic Garden Mix. So for starters, this is an organic garden mix. So those of you that want to keep your garden organic, this would be what you would want to get. It says no synthetic additives or chemical fertilizers, which I like. And this is really, even though they don't advertise as a compost, this really sounds like a compost. Great for amending soil, increasing organic matter, optimal moisture control and aeration. I mean, that's really what compost does. So I don't see how that's too different. This particular bag comes in 0.75 cubic feet. I will say that most of the compost that you see in the store comes in 1 cubic foot bag, so that's definitely a difference. This garden mix is made in Fort Myers, Florida. On the back of the bag, it talks about instructions for use, and really it's no different than your standard compost as far as how to work it into the soil and whatnot. But I do think that instructions like this, it's helpful, especially if you're starting out with gardening. You know, if you're new to this, you may not know. So I think that that's good. Down at the bottom, it tells you what is actually found in the garden mix and the sources of each of those individual components. What's neat about this is it talks up here, if you look, it does say below that back guano, blood meal, meat and bone meal, all these things are found in it, and it talks about how it's beneficial and helpful to your garden. So I like that. I am always a big fan of a company that backs up their product, and here you can see they have a satisfaction guaranteed. Will give you a full refund with proof of purchase if you dislike it. So I love that. Just like Jungle Growth soil, which I absolutely love, I use that in my garden and I've never had any issues. Each bag of this garden mix that is sold helps to save endangered wildlife and its habitat. Another thing to consider would be the price. It's about $4.98 a bag, but remember, it's only a 0.7 cubic foot bag compared to other compost, which, yeah, is a little more expensive, $6 and whatnot, a little bit higher, closer to $7 for Black Cow. But the point is, I mean, there is a bit of a difference in price. So that's something to consider. About 5 weeks ago, I planted okra seeds into this first raised garden bed and the second raised garden bed. Now in the second raised garden bed, that's where I put the Jungle Growth garden mix. And in the first garden bed, that's where I used my homemade compost. There's definitely some differences here. First of all, there are weeds in my compost. Now, I'm not sure how that happened. I don't know if somebody accidentally put weeds in there. I don't know if it was from weeding or using the weed whacker. I'm not sure, but I'm going to say that that's probably contamination because I don't usually have that. If you look over here at the Jungle Growth garden mix raised garden bed, there's literally no weeds, and I have not had to pull any weeds from this. So that is pretty fantastic. So the seeds were planted at the same time in both beds. They received the same amount of sunlight and water. And of course below is my Jungle Growth soil, so there's nothing different there. Here's a different angle. I don't know if you can really see the difference, but those two plants in the back in the second raised garden bed, they're much bigger and fuller. I mean, they all look pretty healthy. And I'm not saying that these okra plants look bad. They look good, but there's definitely a difference as far as fullness, the height, and just the overall look of the plants. I don't often use this garden mix, but based on these results, I just may start to do that. Well, that's about it. Thank you so much for watching my channel. If you haven't already, please click that subscribe button, and happy gardening. Bye-bye.